Good morning. Today we're going to go back a few years to the time I got my left hand caught in a table saw while I was making some shutters. Today's poetry prompt is bleeding. Well, good morning and welcome to another 101 poetry prompts from our little book here. Today we're at 74. Bleeding. A few years ago, I got my hand caught in a, when I saw this prompt, I remembered the incident where I got my hand caught in the table saw, and went to the emergency room, and the nurses, it was a pretty important deal for me, but the nurses didn't seem to be all that impressed. That the emergency room nurses were, they were used to seeing people tore apart in car wrecks and chainsaws, people cutting their arms off with chainsaws and all that stuff. My little injury was, routine for them. And then later I Googled table saw injuries on the internet and found out why they weren't impressed, because it could have been a lot worse. So here's today's poem, 74, Bleeding. About 10 years ago, not a nightmare or a dream, I do remember it was 26th of December, make the year 2013. I was cutting strips to make some shutters. I dropped some wood and reached for it. My left hand caught the whirling blade, cutting off a finger at the tip. But all my fingers were fairly mangled, with finger 2 bent straight back. My friend across the street found the severed finger and put it in a plastic sack. My neighbor 2 doors down, a state trooper in his yard weeding. Emergency wasn't new to him, and he calmly stopped the bleeding. Lisa, another neighbor, offered me a ride, plus a pillow for my head, but then she thought better of it and called the ambulance instead. When I arrived at the hospital, the nurses were not overly vexed. They were used to treating chainsaw amputations, burn victims, and deadly car wrecks. Later I Googled table saw injuries, and you can imagine what I might find. As when it comes to possible table saw injuries, thank you, but I'll keep mine. Okay, that's today's prompt. Tomorrow we have Don't Be Late. Thanks for watching today, and I hope to see you tomorrow.